Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Professor, for reminding me that the platform word was coming from my mother tongue, and that probably 400 years ago, some of my fellow citizens could have had a big opportunity to make a ton of money much earlier on if they had imagined that this platform word had become a business model long time after. What I would like to share with you today is how the platform business model can apply to businesses that are not necessarily the ones that everyone sees every day, because we are all, as consumers, targeted by the platform business models. But of course, the platform business model do also change much more profoundly. Businesses that are a little bit behind the scene, but are changing really our environment because they are affecting our industry, our energy, and the way all our environment is managed. And this is what I would like to share with you. So what is a platform in French, if I may try to interpret the founders of the word? A platform is both a notion of infrastructure and action. It's an infrastructure, like a stage is a platform, that enables a number of people coming from different environments to perform an action. That's really what it means in French. So from there, of course, when we develop a platform business model, we both have to work on the infrastructure and on the action. And this is what I would like to share with you today. So what's the big trend in our environment? Well, the first big trend is that by 2025, we'll have 10 times more connected things than people in the world. That's really the big trend that happens in our space, which is the industrial space. This, of course, gives you, just in terms of dotted points, what it means in terms of the color of the world when you will see all these connected objects connecting effectively by 2025, which means 75 billion of connected objects. And of course, this is not just physical. This becomes also a business opportunity. Because out of that, of course, according to different sources, the volume of business can reach up to $1 trillion and move extremely fast in the coming next years. So what is Schneider Electric doing in this environment? We are the global specialist of energy management and automation. We are basically 25 billion euros company turnover. 5% of our turnover is allocated to R&D, and this has been constant over the years. And I will come back on that because clearly this is the rule of the game. And our company is close to 150,000 people globally today. What we do is that we ensure that life is on. This is how we describe the company. And we deploy these technologies that ensures that life is on everywhere for everyone at every moment. This is really what we want to provide to our customers. And life is on means that it works when we are energized, so that we provide energy to everyone with some challenges that are here. The first one is that we will need 50% more energy by 2050 than what we use today. The second one is that electricity will grow 2 times faster than any other form of use of energy in the same period of time. And the third one is that as of today, we still have 2.3 billion people not having access to electricity. So these are the 3 main challenges that we are facing together with our community. The second big challenge that we want to address as a technology company is that we need to be more efficient collectively. Of course, if we need 50% more energy by 2050 than we use today, at the same time we have to face the global climate change challenge as a human community, which means that we will need to be 3 times more efficient across the same period of time. The good news is that it's possible to be 3 times more efficient, because when we look at how energy is used today, 82% of the energy that is spent into building today can be saved and is an untapped energy-saving opportunity. 50% of what is spent in industry today is an untapped energy-saving capacity. So these are both the challenges and the opportunities in the energy world. And of course, the third dimension of our challenge is to be connected, again with the 10 times more connected objects until 2025, 30 billion of connected objects now in 2020, and of course, everything from there that is moving on software so that we can allow these connected objects to bring data and then to facilitate the challenges that I've just described. So this is really the challenge that we are trying to address as a company. Now, how do we do that? How do we work on our infrastructure, our platform? How do we create our own platform so that we can serve the community? So here are the basic principles on how we build this platform. To be sure that we address all the challenges, we need both to be providing applications and softwares that are talking to the end user so that they can optimize their energy or optimize the way they use their processes and industrial capacities for their end markets. And that's mostly software. So we are providing to them libraries of applications that they can use in this apps, analytics, and services world, where clearly this is the end user world, where each end user has its own specific challenges, and they would pick into these libraries what they need to do to answer their own concerns. But then we need to connect that with the real world. And the real world is basically delivering power, energy, and any form of process, which means motion, in the industry or in the infrastructures. So we need to connect this application world to the real world, which is clearly what makes decisions a reality. And we do that through 2 additional layers of technology that are edge controlling, which is automation close to the reality, to the physical world, and of course, connected products that are directly interacting with the infrastructure. And when we have a consistent innovation across these 3 layers, we create the infrastructure and the platform effect, and this is exactly how we are working. Of course, we have to be successful in doing this. We have to provide an end-to-end ecosystem that is consistent, and that has to be cyber secure as well, because we are living in a world where there are new forms of risk and danger. So this is really how we built the basic principles of our own infrastructure as a platform. Then, of course, we deploy this not alone, because, as I was saying, that the platform is infrastructure and action. The way we deploy it is action with our partners, developers, customers. And this is all the story about how connectivity becomes an action and a business, of course, for us and our partners. It starts by connection. Connection allows collection of data, which allows analysis of what happens in whatever infrastructure we are serving, which then leads our end users and partners to take action out of these data that have been collected and analyzed. And this is really how the platform works together to provide this final close-the-loop capacity that creates value for everyone, for us, for our partners, and for, of course, the end users. Now, few concrete examples of what it means and what is opened by this platform collectivity work. I will take a few examples in the 4 end markets that we are serving. So we are serving the building world, the energy infrastructure world, the industry world, and the data center world. So in the building world, you have this example of the Shell Aquarium in the US, where by implementing the full dimension of this EcoStruxure platform, that is the name of our platform, we are reaching 50% of energy savings in the way this aquarium is run. This is an achievement. Of course, this allows to potentially fuel in power, so this is electricity, of 750 homes annually. So this is a very big saving. You have additional examples on the right, which means that the diversity of applications of that is huge. You can have, a regional healthcare service where you are targeting money saving, but you can have also the Prime Minister's Office of Malaysia, where we have been saving 40% of the energy of the Prime Minister's office. So that's example in the building world. If I move to the data center world, data center is a new type of infrastructure that did not really exist 10, 15 years ago, which is a direct consequence of the very strong growth of any data usage in the world. And this becomes more and more the biggest users of energy in the world. So of course, for the data center activity, as for the collectivity, saving energy in the data center world becomes a priority. So we are working with all the data center operators so that we can enable them to have a reliable source of energy and also an energy saving system. Applying the EcoStruxure platform to this world has enabled in Green Mountain, for example, in Norway, to save 30% of cooling cost, which is the main cost of operation of a data center. We have done the same here in Korea. 30% has been achieved as well for the core computing data center. And we have reduced in the UK and Towergate 59% of the capital expenditure, thanks to this approach of EcoStruxure as a platform. The third world, is industry. Industry, of course, is transforming itself very fast, thanks to the full connection that is enabling end-to-end processes. We call it the fourth industrial revolution, and this is, of course, reaching all the advanced industrial countries as Korea today. So one example here is that you have the Xiasun robot and automation company in China has improved 30% of manufacturing efficiency thanks to deploying the EcoStruxure platform approach. I will move fast on the examples, but we have examples like that are running in each of the end markets that we are serving. I will continue on the energy infrastructure world because we are all living in a very fast-moving energy landscape where we are seeing more and more decentralized, decarbonized, and digitized ways of generating and using energy. And this is, of course, transforming our landscape very fast. And EcoStruxure comes as an enabler of this transformation. And one example that you have here is that in South Australia Power, we have now helped the South Australian grid to collect 1 million data points so that they have a vision at every instant of whatever happens on their network. And of course, this helps to prevent outages and to optimize the deployment of energy across a very large state of Australia. Another example is that thanks to this platform approach, we have helped Stettin in the Netherlands to reduce the time to restore any network outage to 30 seconds, which is, of course, relying on full connectivity and, of course, analytics on whatever happens in the network. So these are key examples on what can we achieve with a platform approach like EcoStruxure in a world that we do not see every day, but that really determines our ecosystem and our environment. How do we work? Of course, we could work alone as a company, but we wouldn't be successful. So we decided a long time ago that our approach of business would be open. Open with our partners, and our partners are on the two sides. They are, as we said, action needs to be performed by people coming from different environments, which means that we have digital partners, we have developers, and we have also, of course, partners who are helping on the customer side to deploy all the dimensions of the platform. And only when all these actors are coming together on a given application for customers, we realize all the potential of the platform. So we have names here of all the partners we are working with. And again, the best effect of this is obtained when they are acting as one, circle of actors that is targeted to make the best benefit for the final customer. And this is really the spirit on how EcoStruxure works. Now, I will not give you all the examples of how fast it can deploy for the benefit of the industries and the ecosystems we are serving. Today, we have over 450,000 EcoStruxure systems deployed, and we have basically 20,000 system integrators and developers working together with us on the way we deploy this platform. And this is deployed in all kinds of industries that are here on the chart. Basically, we differentiate, taking one of the words of Sanji, we differentiate the way we apply the platform to each of the industries, because this is where developers and partners are helping us to make the platform even more relevant for each of the end markets. So we are providing the technology and the ecosystem, and we count on our partners to work with us so that this technology and ecosystem can be differentiated in a way that answers very precisely the particular pain points of each of these industries. I will give you, just to finish, some few examples about Korea, because I'm particularly happy to be here in Korea today, where we have been operating for more than 40 years. And we have over 500 people working for the company here. And of course, we have deployed here in Korea the principles that we are deploying everywhere in terms of partnerships and platforms. So we have partners here, and we are working with partners. And of course, I'm here also to continue to develop these partnerships, because this is part of the way we think we need to serve our markets. So among the partnerships, we have 130 distributors, which is part of our world as well. And we have 60 system integrators who are contributing to the way we transform the ecosystem into reality for our customers. Few examples on how we deployed these technologies and the platform in the country. In industry, to start with, Korea is a very big industrial country. And of course, we have been deploying the technologies of EcoStruxure with our partners on industry in Korea. So you have few examples here. In metal and mining, for example, we have deployed very advanced technologies of hoisting that are using all the elements of applications in software and down to products that are enabling motion and energy to be delivered in a continuous and homogeneous way. Very successful deployment. We have, I'm not going to detail all the examples. In the energy infrastructure world, one of the key elements is that we have built partnerships in Korea with companies who are now working with us outside of Korea. In the examples that you have here, we have very big infrastructure projects that are embedding both energy products that are delivering power, but also softwares. And we have brought these technologies together with our Korean partners in third-party countries. So you have here, you have Algeria, you have Australia, you have Nigeria. So the ecosystem works here. Means that the platform has produced its effects, where we are working together with companies with whom we have worked in Korea as a starting point. And now we are working together elsewhere to deploy the capacities of the platform in regions that are completely different. And we want to continue to do that, of course. I was talking about some examples about commercial and industrial buildings, reminding us that 82% of the energy that can be saved in building is untapped. So we are starting to work really seriously on this in most of the countries, and Korea is one of the most advanced countries today, where we have here 3 examples of large towers of finance center in Seoul, essentially, where we have been working together with partners to deploy a building management system that enables to save between 20 and 50% of the energy that is spent inside a building. So of course, when you realize that this potential is that huge, there is a business case for the owner and for, of course, for the occupant of any kind of commercial and industrial building, to work on the deployment of these technologies just to be cleaner and to be more energy wise for the future, because this will be our common future. And we are very happy to have built partnerships here in Korea to continue to deploy these technologies. The most recent development will be residential buildings. Of course, when you are in commercial and industrial buildings, you have a professional owner or occupant who has an economic and industrial rationale to optimize energy. When you turn to residential building, sometimes it depends on the willingness and the attitude of each and every of the occupants of the residential building to determine what would be their energy consumption attitude. Now we are working in a direction where, for hotels, for example, where you have a professional owner and operator of the building, we tend to optimize energy as best as we can do in commercial and industrial building. And of course, we are rolling out now with partners capacities to do that in more and more buildings that are residential buildings. And we see this as one of the highest potentials in advanced countries like Korea to create a residential building capacity that is cleaner and much more wise in terms of energy usage. In IT and data center, we have deployed this kind of approach already with a number of partners here in Korea. It's either working with people who are operating data centers as their core business, or with people who are generating a lot of data for their business and want to have their own data center on their premises. So you have here Schneider Group Data Center, Kyobo Life IDC, and Samsung SDS ICT. These are three customers with whom we have developed specific approaches for their data center. For the first one, and I think this is timely, we have developed a very specific approach of earthquake robust data center, which enables the data center to be resilient whatever happens in the environment. And as I know that there was an event yesterday in Korea, I think this approach was probably wise or anticipating on potential risk, which is part of our industry, of course. I will finish with water. Water is a common challenge for mankind everywhere. And not many people know that generating water, drinking water and treating water in sewage are technologies that are extremely demanding in energy and extremely demanding in quality of process monitoring. So when we deploy the EcoStruxure technologies in water, we allow to save a lot of energy and a lot of cost of operation, and we allow, of course, the operations of water supply and sewage capacity to be much more resilient and much more reliable. And we have deployed these technologies here in Korea with a number of partners that are here. And also, as we did on energy infrastructure, we are starting to work with the same partners now to deploy the same technologies in other countries like Algeria that is mentioned on the chart. One of the key aspects that I would like to mention as a conclusion is that this transition in our business, which is coming from a, let's say, electromechanical environment, delivering power and motion everywhere, and that becomes a digital platform environment. This is only possible if we train people. This is only possible if we embark in this journey, our people inside the company and all our partners. So we have been focusing over the last 20 years, and I know that this will be the focus of a later discussion, so I will not be too long on that, but I just want to stress the fact that this is really one of the key aspects of the successful approach of this platform business, is to make sure that we embark in this journey, everyone in a business community, to be more digital, to be more collaborative, to be open, because these elements are absolutely key for the success of this approach across the board. And what we have deployed here in Korea for that is that we have built an energy university, which is proposing for our own people and our partners the training that is necessary to embark in these new technologies and to become advocates of these new technologies and new ways of doing business. So that's, as a conclusion, the journey we are in as a company and that we share and want to continue to share with the partners, developers, all the people who are working in the same ecosystem as ours, contributing to reshape industries. That's really a very big trend in which we are, and we hope to be contributors to that. Contributing to transform cities, and of course, the way we transform cities relates very much to digital and to the new landscape of energy that I described briefly. And of course, all this contributes to enrich lives at the end, not necessarily in a way that we can all of us see on our smartphone every day, but really changes the landscape on which we are all living. And this is what we basically call Life is On in our company, that we want to share with more and more people, and of course, to share very much in Korea. Thank you very much.